a surprise. Hi, we're just about to go live on all of the places. And it always takes a minute for all of the places to catch up, even with this awesome software that's going all the way to space and back. That's what I tell my kids when they complain that the internet is slow. I say it's going to space and back. Okay, so we got that one. And now we're official. We're official. Okay, everybody.
Honey, hurry!
Welcome to MomCave Live, where we may have lost our minds, but we haven't lost our sense of humor. And I am losing my mind today. It's been one of those days. It was Mother's Day 2 days ago. And like everybody says, like, why is Mother's Day at the end of the school year when all the things are happening? And so while I'm telling you this, and we're live on all the places, it's telling me that we're not live on the Facebook. But let's hope that we are. So if anybody is seeing us on Facebook, please comment and let me know, because I hope we are. And anyway, we'll just pretend that we are and hope it all goes well. I have a great guest tonight. She's a very funny stand-up mama, and I'm going to bring her on. She created Your Mom's Comedy Show. And everybody, I would love for you to meet. There she is, Kendra Karbowski.
Hello.
Hi, Kendra.
How are you?
I am so well. I mean, I'm going insane with the end of the school year and the baseball and that and the Teacher Appreciation Day and Spirit Week, but it's all good. So Kendra, tell everybody how you got to be a comic. What's your story?
Okay. Well, I was newly married to my 2.0, and we moved to another state.
Husband 2.0.
He was my upgrade. Yeah, it was an upgrade. And we moved to a new state, new city, didn't know anybody. I was getting to know one of my neighbors, and I was chatting with her, and I was making her laugh. And she said, my friend's opening a Funny Bone. You should go audition. And I'm like, I've never done stand-up. I mean, I've done theater and stuff like that, but I'd never done stand-up. And I went down and I auditioned, and they said, they just laughed. They loved it. And they said, well, we're not going to get a house MC right now, but thank you, And I said, well, I just want to learn the business. So I got a job working the door and also being a bouncer. Yeah, me, a bouncer. It consisted of me doing this, giving them the mama. But I got to meet so many fantastic comedians: Rocky Laporte, Etta May, Diane Ford, Jerry Corley, amazing people. And every one of them, if they would let me, I interviewed them. And I'd say, was it worth it? Would you do it all over again? And what would you do different? Because this was in Sioux Falls, South Dakota that we had moved. And if you're at the Sioux Falls Funny Bone, well, you're either on your way up or on your way down. Yeah. And the ones on the way down were crappy.
Right.
Yeah. So sometimes I ended up with the features, but I'm still friends with like the big names like Rocky and Etta May and those, and just because I mean, it was my dream. I wanted to be Carol Burnett when I was a kid. I wanted to be Phyllis Diller. I wanted to do all of those kind of things. And finally, here was my chance. So I did some open mics at the Funny Bone, and I won I won Last Comic Standing in Sioux Falls.
Okay.
So then I was able to open up for some comedians, and that's where it all started. And then I started doing corporate comedy. I tend to do clean comedy because what I found out when I interviewed those comedians years ago was that's how you made money, because
clean comedy.
The corporations. The corporation. No, comedy, you make no money. But if you're going to go into like corporate comedy or get hired by someone, they want someone that they're not going to get sued for something they say or do.
That makes sense.
Yeah. And so our life was so crazy with my 2.0. He had 2 daughters. I had 2 sons. They were from ages 3 to 14. We ended up with, we had 5 fish, 4 kids, 3 cats, 2 dogs and 1 crazy mother. So now you know the code for my garage door.
I'm coming.
And I mean, and they also had, oh my gosh, beta fish, so many fish that just went wrong. Frog, we had it either lived or died. It was just kind of interesting. And so, and we lived there for like 15 years, and then we moved back to Omaha, Nebraska, which is where I'm from, and that's where I am right now. And Omaha's comedy scene just went kaboom, and they had everything. All of a sudden, everywhere you look, there's a comedy theater, someplace to perform. And I did improv, which helped me with my shyness, believe it or not.
You don't look shy.
Yeah. It was a little bit of a, I was shy on stage, and then that helped me a lot. So it just grew, and there's so many people that have come from Omaha, Nebraska, like Amber Ruffin, Adam Devine, well, lots and lots of
comedy people. Well, I'm so glad that you got into comedy, because we need a little bit of a sense of humor about the topic we decided we were going to talk about tonight.
Right.
It's the whole concept of the mom bod.
Yes. When I first started doing stand-up, I was like, I'm not going to do traditional women stuff, and I'm going to do something different. And then I realized you got to talk about the elephant in the room. This is who I am. Right. This is the truth.
Yeah.
And, and especially now that I've gotten older, and you realize that gravity is real and things change and shift. Ta-da. Oh, be quiet. You look so young and athletic and trim, and I'll hate you later.
Filter on, but why is it though that the whole, like, remember when the dad bod became a thing a few years ago? It was a good thing. It was like, oh, that shows this guy's confident and comfy in himself, and he doesn't have to work out like crazy because he has a family and he's so cute with his dad bod. I've never heard anybody say, she's so cute with her mom tummy. Have you?
I've got a theory about the dad bod thing. I think moms started that to try to make themselves feel better about their husband with their hairy bellies.
Right.
He's like, oh, he's so cute, and he's just so comfy to lean on, and he's my pillow. So
you don't think they really meant it?
Yeah. So, I mean, if they knew all the stuff we go through, it was kind of fun when guys started waxing. It's like, so you're getting a little bit of what we got going here.
Yeah.
That was a surprise to me when I went from, I was in between husband 1 and husband 2, and I was trying to do the dating thing, and I was in my mid to late 30s. I dated a guy 11 years younger, and I was like, I really wasn't aware of this waxing, and I'm like, didn't you already go through puberty? I mean, there's nothing here. I don't know what's going on.
A Brazilian when a man waxes the area. Is it still called a Brazilian? Because
I don't know. I'm from Nebraska, so nobody went there. At least the guys I knew didn't. But just the chest is like, where'd your chest hair go? Oh my gosh.
I'm not a fan of when the chest hair has been waxed, but then it starts growing back because it's really prickly.
It's kind of like when they're growing a beard, and it's like, oh, you're growing a beard. Why? Why is it okay for you and not me?
I know. I'm like looking for the one tiny hair on my face with the tweezers, and I have to be in the sunshine in the car because that's the only place I can see it.
Yes. And you know what? I think we need to start bragging. Because you know how men, they brag about that fish that was this long. There we go, this long. Why aren't we going, hey, I found that chin hair. I've been looking for him for 3 months, and there she was.
It was right a 3-incher.
It's a record holder.
Yeah, maybe we need to start a TikTok just for our chin hairs.
Well, I mean, guys have a healthy appreciation for their own bodies. I mean, they probably pick on each other, but it's nothing like us. But I just have to say that you have kids, and it's just like a house. It's like the foundation starts to go.
Yes.
You got the floor going, the roof's caving in, the walls.
And you can't afford to do a renovation because that costs a lot of money. So you just like patch things up with duct tape and hope that it
And
works.
hope for the best. Yeah. Well, and we can talk about intimate things. I don't use words, but I did actually. I went to my doctor and I asked a few questions. I said, "So what's going on?" When I started hitting menopause, I said, "What is going on? I mean, I get out of the shower and I look like I'm wearing a fanny pack. What is this?"
It just
I mean, even after I had my children, I always had a waistline, but it's like kaboom. It was like someone had pulled the button on one of those expandable life rafts, and it's like, what is this on here?
Yeah.
So there was that question. And then, like I said, things start to fall around and everything after you have two children, because if your body is a temple, it's a house. It's like I had two really bad tenants and they just kicked the crap out of me.
Mine was like a frat house. They've ruined it.
Yeah, I went to a doctor and I asked them and they said, well, we've got physical therapy for that. And I'm like,
you do?
You do?
And do I have time for it? And does my insurance cover it? That's what I need.
Actually, it does. But I will tell you, it's interesting because, like, when they're checking things out, they're like, "Squeeze my hand, but not with your hand."
Oh my!
So we don't go any farther with that.
For that, I have heard. If you're watching and you want to talk with us, we would love for you to join in the comments and tell us: do you like dad bods or not? That's one thing I want to know. If you really like.
Well. It was really sad. It didn't go until I was about 55-ish, I guess. Prior to that, like I said, I always had the smaller waist. But I am here to tell you the good news. Everybody talks about the bad news, which I did talk a little bit about.
Good news tonight.
The good news is I finally got boobs. I never had them. I now have them. And they get in the way. You turn and you run into stuff and it's like, what is this? I don't know.
I know. I finally have cleavage too, and that I never did my whole life. So,
Me either. So that part was great, but then sadly, you've got a little bit of gravity kind of changing things around. You got the continental drift, things are changing.
Continents are certainly drifting.
Yeah.
My mom always went around with the top button of her jeans unbuttoned. And I thought that was like so uncouth and so weird. And I'd be like, Mom, what is the matter with you? And now I do that too.
And then you finally give in and get the jeans that are either stretchy or have an elastic. But what used to make me so mad was men's Dockers.
Yeah.
I mean, if you shop for your husband, the men's Dockers, they have 20,000 different kinds of Dockers. Yes. They've got the kind with the elastic. They've got the kind with the little button inside so you can get a little extra space, go up the size. They have got it so that it is stain-free and wrinkle-free and all this kind of stuff. And we get one flipping kind, and it doesn't include elastic or a button moving. And like it's wrinkle-free. That's a joke because we're women. We love to do that.
Yeah.
And no.
I don't think I've ironed in years. I gave up. I don't have the kind of job anymore where like I go into an office and I have to look ironed. So if it's something that needs ironing, F it. I'm just not going to do it.
Hey, Downy spray.
Yeah.
Downy spray. I love that stuff. Yeah. Now you take the Downy spray and what you do is you pull it out damp and you put it on your hanger and you form it and then you spray it with the Downy and pull it. And it does pretty good on most stuff. So that was a blessing, except you end up with a sticky floor.
If only we could do that on our midsections. Like if we could come out of the shower, put on a little Downy spray, put yourself the way you want it to be, and it would just hold it there. Downy spray. I guess, that's not happening.
Yeah. So during the pandemic, I did a lot of binge watching, and there was a show I'd never seen before called Botched. Have you ever seen that?
Oh yes, it's horrifying.
Yeah, where they have those mix-ups, and man, it really started making me question some of my decisions. It's like, did I really need a double implant, or was one chin enough? I don't know.
The more chins, the better. You know what? The more to love. I think a lot of the times we worry about these things when we're young because we're like trying to attract the males, right? And now, I mean, at least I don't care anymore. I'm I'm married. I'm not going to be dating anytime soon.
Right.
So it's not about that. But my husband has always, as many things as I complain about with him, this is one he's very good. He's always said that it's only the gay male fashion designers that want women to be that skinny, and that real men like women to have some heft to them. And so he's always like actually telling me, oh, you gained weight, you look good, or don't lose any more weight. So I have him in my corner. It's lovely.
Well, that's good.
It's confusing.
Well, I mean, but like if you look at Marilyn Monroe, that woman was a nice little hourglass. And, you know, I came of age in the late 70s, 80s and that. And who did we have? Cheryl Tiegs. Yeah. Skinny girl, skinny little lips, skinny, skinny, skinny. I had the most natural, full, beautiful lips when I was younger. And I would use makeup to hide them and reline them because I didn't want these big puffy lips. And now it's like people are killing themselves. They're like sucking into shot glasses. And it's like, oh, girls, don't go there. Hey, I gotta ask you a question. I watched one of your videos and you guys said you were anti-Pinterest. I don't know if that was when you first started.
I mean, I'm not anti the entire platform Pinterest, but when we did start MomCave and people were we were trying to like come up with what is this, right? And back then, I think that the whole landscape of mom bloggers and mom vloggers and all was different. It was mostly all that really, be perfect like me and be the best homemaker and things. And then I would look at that and I would feel like crap. So that's why I started MomCave. But now we've got a lot more realness online. So that's okay. But
almost too much.
Much, right. We don't need to know everything we know now. But that's where it came from when someone was like, well, like what kind of, are you like mom bloggers? And we were like, no, we're like the anti-Pinterest mom. Like, don't do what we do.
You're the hot mess moms.
Yeah. Yeah. And now that's a whole thing. Have you heard about the black SUV versus the white SUV moms?
No. Is this like the black and gold dress or something?
No, and it's not about their actual race, as in like the white versus the African American moms who own SUVs. No, it's about the color of the SUV, right?
Right. So is it like the horses in the West where you come in on the black one and you're a bad person, you come in on the white one and, oh, you're Glenda the Good Witch. Yes.
Yeah. So apparently if you have a white SUV, you're like that mom that's got it all together and she's the class mom and your kids are on time and everything's great. And if you have a black SUV, you're a disastrous mess and a little bit like rebellious.
Like we get to pick out the color of our car.
Exactly.
Okay, you're getting it because it's a good price or somebody else likes it. You know, it's like, come on. I mean, I only got to pick out the color of one vehicle really in my life, and it was a beautiful electric blue. And it was a Durango when Durangos first started. Yes. And I'm like, God, this is a great car. Well, I was just hitting 40s or close. Let's see. Oh, I'm not good at math. 98, whatever. Okay. So anyway, I was getting close to 40. And you still haven't realized that the bloom's off, you know, that you're maybe getting a little old. And it's like you're driving around this car and, you know, and somebody's looking at you, guys looking at you like, I'm still looking good. And then you realize it's the car.
It's the car. It's the car.
It's the car.
For sure. Yeah.
It ain't me. But no, with the Pinterest, when I first started doing comedy and stand-up, I had a thing about the perfect moms, you know, and the perfect PTO mothers or whatever. It's like, here's my child Cayenne's Phage's room. I made it with all recyclable materials myself. Yes. And I did it in my I did it myself in my part-time when I was not homeschooling the whole neighborhood, raising feral kittens or training for a marathon.
Right.
And you wanted to smack that woman. You just want to picture her having a small breakdown in a closet eating her kids' chocolate candy.
Oh, I think she's in a closet like drinking or something. More than eating chocolate candy. Nobody can do all those things well at once. I think we can do certain things well, and then everything else goes to hell, and then you switch it around.
Yeah. Well, I enjoy doing my own solo comedy, which I do, and I do a little bit more of the menopause, older stuff. And then in 2017, so it's been 7 years since we started, I ran into another female comic because at that time it was still not a lot of female comics. You'd see a show and there's four guys and one female, and usually the female, some girl that's like scantily clad, and it's like, yeah, right. And I ran into another comic and we started talking about mom comedy.
Mhm.
And we thought, well, that'd be a fun show to do. And so we did our first Your Mom's Comedy show. We had one other mom that was on. And the age range of the kids ran all the way from, like 9, and no, her youngest was 2. And then mine were, in their high school years, 20s, whatever. And it was a lot of fun to be with other moms and perform. And so hopefully at some time we'll get the other moms on here. But now we are at a point where the youngest, I think, kid is 7, and we've changed the lineup a few times. And then my oldest is 33, and I have a grandson who's almost 12.
Congratulations.
Yeah, we love him, and hopefully we'll get more grandchildren because the youngest one just got married. But to tell you how long I've been doing comedy, I have had this joke and it still works. I just did it on a big Mother's Day show and you can't see the rest of the body, and that's okay. Where I say, I just want to clear up any misconceptions. I just want you to know I have had the baby. And I'm just trying to get rid of the last of that baby weight, but it's taken a while. I'm hoping by his next birthday. And then I do this joke when my youngest son is there, and I go, and you're turning 30, right?
Right. Yeah, give it up. Give it up. There's no.
But yeah, so we came up with Your Mom's Comedy Show, YER. And for heaven's sakes, if you look it up, make sure you put the word show on there. Because if you just go to Your Mom's Comedy, it is a website that has nothing to do with mothers, and it has a lot of graphic sexual positions that aren't easy to do.
Yeah, that we couldn't do if we tried anymore, probably.
Well, you might break a hip. And, I'm getting older, so I don't want to have to explain that to the grandkids or the kids of why is dad wearing pink fuzzy handcuffs.
No, that would be a terrible moment. Well, everybody go check out Kendra's Your Mom's Comedy show and find out all about it. Thank you so much for hanging out with me tonight.
I've had so much fun. Thank you for having me. It's great. I can't wait to watch it.
Okay.
And it will stay in infamy on your website for a while. And your website is?
Oh, thank you for the plug. I'm Jen from MomCaveTV.com, and you can find us on all the social media sites, but we're also on over 300 smart TV channels. So if you
holy enchiladas, really?
You just go on your TV and you can look up either the MomCave app, we have our own app, or you can go to like True TV Plus, Carbon TV, Binge.
Awesome.
We're on there.
And YouTube.
Oh, YouTube. It all started with the YouTube.
So right now we are just basically Facebook is our main mode because I'm the only one managing it. The other ones have young kids. They're busy. They're at ball fields like you know. The other day one said, I'm performing with dirt in my hair because I had 5 games before our show. So, but yeah, so Your Mom's Comedy Show is only at Facebook, but you can find me on Instagram. And I think it's just Kendra _ Karbowski because that's enough to remember. Or you can find it on my YouTube channel. So, awesome. But I love spreading the laughter, and we love keeping parents saying one punchline at a time.
Yes, let's celebrate our mom bods. It's been great talking to you. Have a great night. Bye.